So much for that, Lottie, and welcome back to Call of Duty Next. And we are about to watch some live Call of Duty Warzone gameplay. I'm stoked. It's going to be awesome. Steph, we got some guests with us here today, too.
That's right, GB. We've got the very first live gameplay of the all-new map coming to Season 1 later this year. So buckle up, because you're going to want to see the debut of this Resurgence map coming up here shortly. But we are excited to welcome our guests to the desk. More talented people from Treyarch. We have Brittany Beidelman and Miles Leslie. Guys, it's almost time.
Let's go.
Yeah,
I'm so hyped
you're
up.
excited?
Let's go.
I mean,
yes.
like the electricity in the room.
Play. Let's go.
Okay, all right.
I do too.
So you know what? Let's just jump right into it. Let me not waste you guys' time anymore here. All right, Brittany, Miles, of course, thank you so much for joining us here today. And we're going to be talking about this new Resurgence map that's going to be coming to Warzone, courtesy of Treyarch. What it's been like building this experience for y'all, because it must feel great to see it now out in the world.
Yeah, it's been really putting so much passion across all the teams, and special shout out to the Treyarch teams, the Raven team, the High Moon Studios teams. Everyone has really come together on what the dream and vision of this map is, and
yeah,
every single piece has been touched. So much intention. We're so excited to talk about it and show it off.
Nice.
Because it's been a minute since we've had a new Treyarch map in Warzone, so this is really exciting.
It's a big moment, yeah.
Yeah, the team at Treyarch has been working tirelessly on this map. We are thrilled to finally be able to talk about it and show it to the world.
I love that.
Ooh.
Well, here we go. I mean, look, guys, without further ado, let us introduce you to
Area 99.
All right, Area 99.
Welcome to the Pod Dormitory. Weapons testing. Mannequin Assembly. A nuclear reactor. The House Factory. Nuketown Shipping. Well, howdy there, folks. It's your old pal, Archie Adams, to welcome you to the one and only Safety first. When in doubt, ask what would Archie do?
We have arrived at the birthplace of Nuketown.
Wow.
And here's your very first look at our overhead tac map of Area 99. Brittany, we're here.
We made it.
Yes, we made it. You said it, Stephanie. Welcome to the birthplace of Nuketown. We
Wow.
have 10 POIs, each with their own gameplay flair and thematic connections to Nuketown. This is uniquely a Black Ops map with a ton of character. We just cannot wait for players to get into this.
Yeah, and we actually have more POIs on the version of the TAC map that you're seeing here today. On the streamers TAC map, once they're in game, it's going to look a little different. But you know what? This is where we're headed for launch. We're obviously going to see alpha gameplay of Area 99. We got live gameplay coming up on Area 99 in just a few minutes. But first, let's take a closer look at our points of interest. Brittany, take us away.
Yeah, so Area 99, you're parachuting in. What's the first thing you see? Our Nuketown house suspended mid-air. It is so awesome. Up here, you have a view of other Nuketown houses that have been swallowed up by the sands of time. Then we have our test site. This is where experimental weapons are tested. The observant player may recognize that we have a prototype Guardian in the space, which is a fun nod.
Lots of little treats there.
That's cool.
That's pretty cool. That POI connects to our underground bunker space. So down here, the players are more self-contained, separated from the chaos on the surface. But I recommend grabbing a gas mask before going down there.
Okay.
Then
Duly
we
noted.
have our bunker space. This is our bullseye in the center of the map. It's also our tallest POI with multiple levels. But what's most important about this POI is actually that it is connected to every single other POI in the map through a network of trenches.
And it's got radioactive goo that
There's also radioactive goo.
you will take damage from.
Confirmed.
Trust me.
We have our manufacturing POI.
Oh,
This
that's
is
so
where
cool.
the Nuketown houses are made. This space is fun. We have doors, windows being carried throughout the space. There may or may not be a sneaky zip line in here somewhere. I'm not going to tell you where it is.
You have to go and find
You gotta
out.
go find it.
Oh, I love everything about this.
Then we have our Mannequin Assembly space. This place is really fun. So, okay, the backstory of this is it has been overproducing mannequins throughout the years, and now
Not scary at all.
it's a little bit creepy.
Yeah.
Players get to run through massive piles of mannequins. Mannequin limbs are just tossed throughout. It's
As one does.
Don't get squashed by our mannequin smasher. And then we have our pods. This is where the people who worked at Area 99 used to live. This is the fun, stacked, smaller engagements. And players here really need to listen for those footsteps of other players in order to hone in on their targets.
I mean, this just looks so cool.
Pod's
Everything about
final
this.
circle, absolutely wild.
Oh, yeah.
I really,
Chaos.
I really hope we see one
Absolutely.
today in playtesting. Final circle on pods, you're going to have one of the wildest fights I've seen in Resurgence
yeah.
in a long
And
time.
something that stands out to me just looking at that overhead map real fast is a lot of color. You know, a lot of
Yeah.
visual color that's really going to stand out when you're like moving through the map. You really get the idea that like, well, I'm moving into new POIs. I'm going into new environments.
Absolutely. That
Yeah.
was super critical for us across just deconstructing Nuketown and bringing that color and fun in that
Yeah.
sense back.
Yeah. Now, here's the other wild part that, I genuinely just didn't even consider it being a thing, that there's a story around
Absolutely.
Nuketown. How did the creative come about for this? Because what an utterly fascinating way to approach not just making a map, but also tying in the lore of this simple map that we were introduced to years ago in Call of Duty. How did you guys come about doing it?
Yeah, I mean, we are super inspired by Nuketown. It's a fan favorite. We love it. And when we had the opportunity to bring something to Warzone, we really wanted to bring the frenetic energy of Nuketown. And so
Yeah.
we deconstructed it. And part of that is the history of the space and how fans love the history of it and the gameplay. So we tore it apart, broke every single piece down. Like Brittany said, there's so much intention. But this had to be where they're making all those Nuketowns and then shipping them off to the
Yeah.
desert to blow
Plopping them
them
in
up.
the desert.
This old, abandoned military facility built in the 1950s, we leaned all the way in. And so when you see that color and you
Yeah.
see so many unique POIs in gameplay, it all stems from that idea is, where was Nuketown made?
Yeah.
Area 99, baby.
Very, very interesting. Now, narratively, I'm absolutely just in. I'm down with this. But I'm also seeing a lot of really cool areas, Brittany. We can have some fun engagements. What were some of the core design philosophies that y'all wanted to implement on this to really make it feel like not just you're playing Nuketown, but you're playing Nuketown in a scale that's never been tested before?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the most important things that we wanted to do with this map
Yeah.
was, like Miles was saying, tell the origin story of Nuketown. And in fact, Nuketown itself was a key source of inspiration for our map.
Yeah.
So we pushed for more of a classic 3-lane design, and that was strategic because we want to funnel players together towards the center of the map.
Yeah.
And by doing this, you'll have quicker engagements, faster gameplay, and that's what we want from this space.
Yeah.
We also have a lot of vertical, taller buildings in the space, and that's also strategic because we want players to gain awareness of where other teams are, using the rooftops, things like that, help them think tactically in the space, and again, all for the the need of having the faster engagements that we want in that space.
I have
Yeah.
a feeling we're going to see a lot of really fun fights
Oh,
at
yes.
Reactor,
Oh,
right
yes.
in the center. As you mentioned, it's like a bullseye. It's tall. It's beautiful. There's
Yeah. Yeah.
underground
The second you
components.
drop, you're in it.
Woo,
Yeah,
let's
you're in
go.
it.
Yeah. Again, all hit up with that toxic sludge.
All over the toxic. Yeah. Well,
I'm going to land right into it. I
there
already
you
know
go.
that
There-
that's happening. My friends are just going to have to
2B
deal
got
with
his
it.
strat.
Yeah.
but Brittany, what can players expect in terms of comparing Area 99 to other Resurgence maps that they know in Warzone right now?
Yeah, so players can expect this map to bring the fast, frenetic gameplay that we all know and love from the OG Nuketown. It's coming to Resurgence in
Yeah.
Area 99. And when you look at the pre-existing portfolio of Resurgence maps, you'll see that Area 99 is actually very similar in size to Rebirth Island.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
That'll make a lot of people excited. Also, another
Yes.
thing I had noticed as well is just, you know, the map layout itself, you know, gives you a lot of great opportunities for rotations, you know, to really move around the map fluidly. It feels like you guys really thought about that. Like, how do you get from POI to POI in a very smooth manner, right?
Yeah, there's so much care, like Stephanie was saying, and the team's absolutely crushed it as we've been playtesting it, is having those conversations on rotations and approaching it from a Warzone and Resurgence point of view. That was key, is, again, taking MP Nuketown for Resurgence is key. It absolutely feels and plays like it.
Yeah, well, speaking of the feels part of it, I mean, the aesthetic stands out big time.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So let's talk about that inspiration, why you guys went the direction that you went with this very retro style, if you will.
Yeah, so when you look at Nuketown and where really the origins of that, it's got this retro futurism sort of aesthetic.
There's a word for that.
There's a word.
There is a word for it.
Let me get the
big
dictionary.
conversation. Everyone is
Today
like,
I learned.
it's abandoned, but it's Nuketown. What does it mean?
Retro future. So this was a key inspiration across all the buildings, and really because it's a projection of almost what the 1950s thought the future was going to be. That's really through all the machinery, the robots, the crusher, the reactor. It feels like that, and that was important to us. So you're constantly immersed in Area 99, and you know it's Black Ops. You know it's special to this moment, and you know Area 99 is bringing something fresh and new.
And Archie.
And Archie
Adam.
Come on, you heard him at the top. He's really a special character to the team that we crafted to be the mascot for the nuclear reactor and the nuclear world that Area 99 is bringing. So
the spiritual leader of Area 99. I think we're going to see a lot of him.
Just remember,
hopefully.
do what Archie does. I love it. I love it.
You are going to hear him in the map. He's all over with the PAs. It's fantastic.
Awesome.
And of course, like I said, this is alpha gameplay that we're seeing here today at Next, because this map is obviously still few months away from launch, but the streamers here live at Next are going to be dropping into Area 99 shortly. Brittany, I have to ask you, I have my own thoughts. I have my own favorite place to land here. What do you think the hot drop is going to be today?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, I think the hot drop today is going to be our manufacturing POI. That's the one that has all the Nuketown houses getting built, right?
Okay.
Any mini Nuketowns.
All of them, yes. And so this is going to be a hot drop because it is a parkour playground inside. Players can run, jump, climb on all of the different house pieces. It's going to be so fun. And it's a good, you know, testing ground for that Omni movement system.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's absolutely
My
fantastic.
favorite is, I have to say, House on a Crane. You talked about it first. It's
House
in
on a Crane.
Nuketown shipping. You cannot miss House on a Crane. You got a great vantage up there. Miles, do you have a favorite?
I do. So, I mean, it's hard to choose, but personally for me, I love to get into the command bunker underneath. I like the SMG, the shotgun. I like to really try to dominate that if I can. You know, the circle might push me out, but I'm going to try to hold it. And I have a soft spot where really when you were looking at it is callback to Blackout, Nuketown Island bunkers underneath.
My
for everyone that
man.
knows.
My man. Love it.
It's got that vibe and that feel. So I love to just kind of sit down there like a hermit and a creep and just kind of like watching people.
Okay, duly noted.
Yeah,
we
so
got to play
I'm gonna
sometime.
see you. I'm gonna see you down there.
Yeah.
See, I like that strategy too. Just way in the corner. Really, I
didn't say a corner. Okay, GB.
Well, I'm going to a corner.
He said command center.
Tactical defending.
Okay, but outside of the command center, we're looking outside the bunker. If I happen to look at the periphery of the map, out into the desert, saw some conversation about this online. What else might we see in that Nevada desert?
Well, you might see a hint of something fans love that might come later. We'll see.
Okay.
Get something with scope. You might see
Just a
something.
little hint
You guys,
there.
you guys out here with the teases and everything. My
can't give
goodness
it all
gracious!
away. Come
Every time. All right, folks. Well, we'll be back with more Warzone coverage, including talking about Battle Royale updates, ranked play, and more. But for now, though, let's send it over to our casters for some brand new gameplay of Resurgence maps, Area 99. Fellas, take it away.
Oh, let's get to the game, Chris. We've got a whole lot of action to get through. Area 99, folks. Let's do it. Yeah. Honestly, can't wait, Chris. Mannequins.
Great.
Imagine a mannequin skin. That would be a very, very
I'm trying to
interesting
get
thing.
it like in week 1. It might take till season 2, but I mean, who doesn't want to dress up?
I do. Look, the idea of a new Warzone map is incredibly exciting to me. I've been so pumped for this.
All right, get up.
So
did get a
many
chance,
talented gamers here as well. I was just looking around to see who would be in our lobbies. This should be fun.
Yeah, we had a chance to. I stood behind Shotzi for a while. I got to watch him running around, a little bit of trash talk. I was told to run across the stage and unplug Iceman Isaac's setup, and I wasn't going to do that. I wasn't going to do that, Chris. I'm not that guy.
No, and we should remind everybody, Stephanie said this a few times, this is just alpha. We're going to see an even more polished version by the time you get your hands on it. But Miles, you and I saw this last night. We had just a few hours into it. What did you like most when you were playing?
I mean, it sounds like quite a cop-out, Chris, but I just love the idea that a single map from Black Ops history can inspire this huge play space. The idea that we're going like the home of Nuketown. There's this weird sort of like nuclear family feeling going on. There's mannequins being built. There's all sorts of cool stuff. It's just very exciting.
10 different POIs, and yet we can see, of course, all of our players bounce around to different ones. They said what's going to be the hot drop, maybe manufacturing. I think it's going to be Nuketown shipping, though. Everyone just wants to go to the place that has Nuketown in the name.
Yeah, right. I also love the idea that there is a sort of floating part of the Nuketown map above everyone. To me, it's just such a cool idea to, show a little bit of homage. I know you can look out across the desert, and in the distance there is, the OG Nuketown, which, let's face it, Chris, is going to be in this game somewhere, right?
Absolutely. I do have to say, Ghost, if you're watching this one, my boy Knight did not make it to COD Next this year. I personally want to vouch for this guy after watching him play for Twisted Minds. Knight is a Resurgence monster, and he refuses to play the big maps. He's like, Resurgence is my home. Why leave?
Why leave? And again, the idea that this one is a similar size to Rebirth Island, very, very exciting. So again, you've seen the top-down view, you're seeing some of the action at home. You know what you're getting yourself into, folks. It should be a fantastic time. And the whole time, Chris, we've barely brought it up. The entire feeling of like Omni movement being in there, Brad is getting involved. Lovely bit of work there with the Tanto 22, and he goes down. But look, a smile on his face and a heart full of joy.
Yeah, maybe he'll come back here in about 17 seconds, Bradders. Excited to have you with us here in DC. One of our 250 creators all playing Black Ops 6 for the first time. Let's take a look, though, at some of the other screens. It looks like Ocean Ops is continuing to dominate. His teammate fell, but Ocean Ops going to keep slaying out.
That's a lovely top-down look. Reactor, obviously the highest point of the map here.
To the pods.
The pods, boy. To the pods. Dive.
Are you a green pod or blue pod guy?
I think I'd be I'd quite like to look at that purpley pod.
You're a purple podder.
Although the yellow pod looks like the tallest one. And these sort of these habitation locations for the staff here at Area 99. Let's have a quick look and see how it looks on the inside. Ooh. Cool, look at this. Better than my place in LA.
Bigger than my New York City apartment as well. Well done, Future.
Well done, Bleak Future. This love is atom punk vibe, plates, you name it. All the goodies you would expect from Warzone, and of course, brand new weapons here in Black Ops 6. See some dives, mate. Come on.
I was going to say,
you've been doing it all day, brothers.
Decent ground loot as well. Every gun you pick up feels like you can do damage with it. There was very few items that I was like, this is never getting used.
A lot of nice shots there. Aim Brot taken down.
And J-God's in this lobby I just saw. Can we get a J-God screen up here?
He's on his team, man.
One of the legends, of course, of content when it comes to Warzone. If you ever want an update, you go to his channel. He's going to tell you what the meta weapon is, what to be doing in-game. He's a family man as well. Always
family
entertaining.
Man. Oh, very indeed a family man.
On the right side. I thought maybe
a man who loves to pick about his own gameplay. But once again, where are we going, folks? Where are we dropping? What's the game plan?
See, this is what happened. We had a good game going.
They had a good game going.
Yep.
Break it down for us, J-God.
Now we're like on Regain Central.
Now we're on Regain Central.
Yep, okay.
I mean, Ocean's patrolling the rooftops, making sure he's got a safe landing. Is there any gear up here? That's going to help out.
Certainly going to help. That's a full squad mark.
So we got that. Vest.
I love the narration of his own gameplay. Keeping the chat involved for maybe those who are driving or not necessarily paying too much attention to what they're seeing.
Instant YouTube video, you know? Why make edits? Oh, it's quick looking at loot, dude.
He's trying to figure out the new pickups. Oh, okay, this is the armor satchel. What's this? Someone's shooting him in the back. I'm trying to make a YouTube video over here, mate.
Trying to read. All right, now we did get the reinforcement flare. That is going to be massive. Anyone who plays Resurgence already familiar with that aspect. But basically, you can get your buddies back extra fast, extra easily.
Well, another absolute demon in the Warzone world, like Shamu.
Rooftop with me on ping.
And listen to the comms already. Rooftop on ping. They're doing their absolute best, folks. Running through. That's a squad wipe. There's a nice gold highlight there. Another change again to the user interface here on Black Ops 6.
And unfortunately, Espresso still looking over Shamu's body. He's not happy about it. We got to go over to Biffle, though. This guy I think right now, if it's not Shifty, Biffle is the best player to ever touch Warzone.
I mean, we saw it. Repul's giving him the little goat statue with damn good reason. Watching his Ames 85 here, one of the new assault rifles in BO6. Nameless giving it a lot of love in one of our pre-match segments. Big AR guy, bro.
I love this gun. It's absolutely amazing. And getting to see Biffle run it, he's going to do some things that I just can't do, so this is exciting.
And, of course, showcasing the new movement. How do you get to high ground? What's the head? He doesn't matter what armor you have. He has better aim, and that is another one added to the pile. You look at, is that 17 already?
Yeah, oh yeah, 17. That's the top right-hand side of the screen. His elimination count. 6 players remaining in the game as well, Chris. We are looking at a very, very late match here.
They popped the UAV. They know at least where 4 of them are, and this is just hunting time. This is what these boys do.
Well, he's got his dedicated melee out. Does he have any idea? Does he have any idea that this is going to be a moment in the BCL Power Hour? It looks like someone's going to get a TV.
Chauncey's coming on in, and here comes the revives as well. We love Power Hour. Once again, if you're just joining in, we have 9 65-inch televisions to dish out. All you got to do, hang out and throw up some hashtags.
Double ball back.
A little quick look at the cluster munitions, cluster strike. That's an absolute classic, a staple from the Warzone world.
Live.
Good shots. Couple
beams.
of tags. Not an easy thing to do.
Okay, still dialing in the XM4. This might not be the final build.
Yeah, it might not be. Who knows, though? I mean, again, our players, they didn't necessarily have time to create their own custom classes, but what they picked up, they're all very solid, you know?
No, they're going at the zone. They're going at the zone.
They got
Here's a final
money
look.
for days, calling out the rotation. Biffle,
I can't see.
I don't think so, he says. Ending your map a little bit early, and now they've got numbers
Oh my
advantage.
God.
That player does get the revive, so a couple more folks coming back in. This game is not over yet, but Biffle, 18, looking for number 19. These shots are sensational with the ground loop.
I love what we're seeing here. The communication is perfect. Always know where the enemies are. They've got them pinged on the map. And Biffle on the flank is going to get caught out here. Goes for the in-system reach out. You can't hit the movement, baby.
He's getting down. His teammates hitting the assassination. And that is that, folks. Your first Area 99 victory. Biffle and the boys.
Let's watch it one more time. This is Repulse's perspective. The podcast GOAT right now, and you can see they're dropping a 51 bomb as a squad. Welcome to Resurgence here in Black Ops 6.
That's not a bad place to be. Well, GG's there, folks. A very, very exciting look. Very, very exciting look there to start things off. What an unbelievable run. 51. We'll see if anyone can beat that during the day.
A quite delectable bite of Warzone action right there, Miles.
Welcome back to Call of Duty Next. I'm Miles, this is Puckett, and if you're just tuning in, we're watching live gameplay of the new Resurgence map, Area 99. But what you just saw was a little bit of a teaser for the upcoming World Series of Warzone Finals. We're going to Vegas, baby.
It's going to be so sick. A live competition at its best. You're going to see a lot of these familiar names that are here for Black Ops 6 today competing for serious money.
Serious cash and a lot of love there. But Area 99, we're going back in, Chris. We've got lots to see still. Joe Woe, we gave him some love earlier. Let's give him some more love now.
Okay, and already he is pushing for double-digit eliminations. They're just murking their way through the lobby.
Yep.
Once again, the highest we saw was Repulse and crew. They've dropped some 50 bombs as a trio. What can this team put together?
I mean, this is also a very, very strong team. T, Iceman, Isaac, Joe Woe, staples of the Warzone world. If you've never watched them before, I mean, feast your eyes on 3 absolute monsters. And there's a lot of monsters in this place, Chris. DC is bumping.
Joe Woe going for the selfie. Shouldn't be a problem, or is it? Nope, he gets run up on. As you can take a look at everybody playing here. What's up, everybody? This is Washington, D.C. This is Call of Duty Black Ops 6, and you are looking at some new fun that we are seeing on the big stage.
Dr. Lupo breaking the Hippocratic Oath and trying to find some kills over here in Area 99. He's the player on the right-hand side of your screen. That is some laser focus. The shot's not enough, though, as the high ground will be his downfall. Seriously, though, it's an unbelievable experience here at COD Next. Again, we wish you could join us, but quite frankly, we don't have the space because we've got 215 creators in here, Chris.
I was like, can I bring my wife and kid? They're like, no room for anyone but workers, and for good reason. I understand it now that we filled this place up. And I'm looking through here. I was just noticing the rest of Dr. Lupo's lobby. Team Summertime. Blake's out on his own, but that was George playing with Hitch. Love to see it.
Zogoro now on your screen. We saw him hitting some sweet snipes in the multiplayer segment. Now the same thing. Oh, that was so close. Wouldn't that have been ideal, folks? But yeah, snipes here in the world of Warzone, obviously a big deal. Nice shot. Chrissy goes down. And now the pressure applied. That's going to be the precision. I mean, it's like, it's just all the makings of a good Warzone map, Chris. We've got some nice high ground to play with here. We've got ourselves these great big open spaces, a lot of lovely transitional elements, like a laneway from POI to POI, and secret tunnels.
Absolutely. You may be familiar with this weapon. It's gone by the name of the Ames 85. You can see the new sniper, the LR762.
Bang, bang.
Also here, as Zog is fully loaded, ready to unleash some fury, just waiting for challengers to potentially be dropping back in. Here's his first opportunity.
I mean, that's the gorgeous thing about Resurgence, right? I mean, you've got to make sure you keep your team alive at this point in time. Again, some nice changes there to the user interface. We're going to keep bringing this up, folks. These are the new elements here in Black Ops 6. Lovely looks there across the board. Everyone's got a little different vibe. Some of the mini-maps are square, some of them are round, some of them are at the bottom of the screen, right above that sort of bearing tape. Very, very exciting stuff here at Zogoro. Not that exciting as he just waits to get back into the game. But Timothy Tatman, what have you got?
Let's see it, Timmy. Self-revive, smart. Focus on yourself. Go for a little strike damage. Precision. It's definitely good commit.
Tim's wearing the Warden skin.
I can precision it, hang on.
And that voice line was great. Requesting recon. Precision airstrike incoming.
This is how you push the pod, Miles.
The pod's
you
getting
blow
absolutely
it up,
getting
push
pounded.
up to the fence.
The pod's being pulverized right now. Go on, Tim. Be brave, Tim.
This is a tough final circle to go against.
The world is watching.
More free points falling in if he can hit the shots. The burst not quite clean enough.
That's a fun weapon. That's the SWAT 556. A bit of a burst weapon here in BO6. Plenty of love, though. Oh, guys, there's just so much. There's so much to get through still, and we're talking Warzone. There's no better folks to talk about Warzone than the guys on the desk right now.
Welcome back to the desk. We are thrilled to have Raven and Treyarch joining us now to talk about Call of Duty Warzone and some of the key updates that will be coming to us in Season 1. I'm excited to welcome to the desk Pete Actipes, Lawrence Metten, and Ted Timmons. Guys, the excitement in here over Area 99 and some of the gameplay we've seen has been awesome so far.
Yeah, you guys having fun?
Oh, this is fantastic.
Let's loosen up a little bit over here. Let's chill out a bit. I saw Ted walk out. He was taking pictures, posting
Ted's
online.
been taking selfies, you know. The rest
Ted's
of
been
us are
walking
just
around
here.
with a disposable camera?
You got to do it for the gram, right?
You gotta do it for the gram. That's how you know we're in the 90s. All right, well, gentlemen, we have had a chance to cover a lot of the global systems that we're going to be seeing in Black Ops 6 today. Of course, that includes Omni movement. Said it like 1,500 times now, and for good reason, because it really is a big deal, and it is coming to Warzone. We've seen some incredible moments there, Pete. I mean, really, this has just changed the way that we play the game.
Absolutely. So for this year, our core design pillars really revolve around fluidity, simplification of systems, and player agency. So when we heard about Treyarch's global systems coming this year to Black Ops 6, we were really excited about the play potential that this could bring to Warzone, specifically with Omni movement, right? So if you think about it, just having the ability to dive, slide, and sprint in any direction, it's a real game changer. It's going to add a new dynamic element to the way players will engage in the combat. We've already seen a ton of clips in multiplayer. We've seen it in the first match already. Like, it's just going to go bananas.
It's basically just the way I'm going to lose all my ones, just because of Omni movement. I'm telling you, it's like I'm going to get absolutely cooked. I can't wait to get cooked though.
The Omni movement is just one of the many systems coming from Black Ops 6. You talked about the global systems. And one of the most exciting new features that will be debuting across the titles are global weapon builds. Lawrence, you mentioned this earlier in the multiplayer section. This is a huge quality of life change. What does it mean for players?
Yeah, so global weapon builds make it easier than ever to create and maintain and access your weapons wherever you play, whether it's multiplayer, zombies, or Warzone. Every gun you create in Black Ops 6 or Warzone is a global weapon build by default and connected everywhere you can use it. So you can slot it into a loadout. If you make an edit to that global weapon build, it applies everywhere it's equipped.
Amazing.
Massive.
No longer going
Holy
in
crap.
one by one, loadout by loadout, and keeping your guns up to date. Global weapon builds also exist outside of loadouts. So if you swap, let's say, your short-range XM4 build out of a loadout in exchange for maybe Latanto SMG. But you can go back to that XM4 at any time. It's a permanent creation and really makes it easier than ever for players to maintain their guns. And if you're that player who jumps into Black Ops 6 at launch, has your favorite guns, has your favorite weapon builds, when Season 1 drops and the Warzone integration happens, you can easily bring over all of those guns.
That's huge.
Super easily.
I think
absolutely huge.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned Tanto XM. I feel like that's might be the meta in the room at the moment, ironically. But
I know, it's great. You're hearing everyone talk about it. It's wild. But now we have a lot of things that are coming, over as part of, the shared experience that we're going to be seeing with Black Ops 6. And there are going to be a few specific things as well that we're going to be seeing, like perks and loadouts. They're going to be working a little bit differently, in Warzone. So, Pete, why don't you just take us through that, how that's going to play out, how that's going to look for the players?
Yeah, there's quite a few changes happening this year in terms of loadouts.
Okay.
First and foremost, wildcards are coming to Warzone.
Ooh.
We're really excited about this because we really feel that this is going to be disruptive in a good way to how players kind of strategize and think about which loadouts to take and how they build them. So the two that we're showing off today are Overkill and Gunfighter. So Overkill is back. Used to be a perk, but now it is a classic, and this time it lives on as a wild card. So for those that don't know, Overkill allows you to take 2 primary weapons with 5 attachments on it. You might want to do that. Like, there might be an engagement that you might want to get into, and you have an AR, SMG, sniper, shotgun, whatever suits your fancy. You can make that choice right there and then. But if you don't want to do that, we're also showing off another wildcard today, and that's Gunfighter. Gunfighter allows you to have 1 primary weapon and 1 pistol, and the primary weapon can have up to 8 attachments. So if you really think about it, if you take the right kind of weapon and put on the right type of attachments on it, that might be the thing that turns the tide in a fight.
I have a feeling a lot of people are going to use Gunfighter.
Absolutely. We also have more that's coming, and we'll talk about those as we get closer to launch.
For sure.
Those wildcards are going to be built specifically for Warzone in mind.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes.
That's cool.
So more coming as we look to the live seasons post-launch. But Ted, one of the things you've done is actually revisit some of the underutilized perks and, kind of look at how we might use them for this chapter.
Yeah, so our design team looked at the equip rates of all of the perks over the last year and just how players have used them. And we've taken what would previously have been bottom tier perks, clearly not much value, combined some of them together. Some examples being we took Combat Scout and Tracker. So for anyone who's familiar with it, Combat Scout is when you hit someone, you ping them, and we've combined them together just to be Tracker because it felt like it's really the same play style, same player motivation. But we think the one that everyone in here is going to love, it's got a new name, Sprinter, and we basically combined what would be movement perks from the previous game. So things like double time. There's a perk that we have in the game at the moment where when you're downed, you move quicker. And then on top of that, we've added infinite tack sprint.
Oh, boy.
So we think that's going to be a huge pick rate. And in the pre-brief, when we talked to some of the creators, the eruption for that piece was just phenomenal. So.
With Omni movement on top of all of that, we're going to see some pretty exciting movement in the game. But Lawrence, one quick thing I want to touch on. Classic Prestige coming to Warzone. This is new for us.
Yeah, so Classic Prestige in Black Ops 6 is truly a global system. Whether you're playing multiplayer, zombies, or Warzone, you're earning XP towards your next Prestige. And we've never had Classic Prestige in Warzone. It's a first for the franchise. Really excited to see how Warzone players engage with the system.
Wow. I'm the fact that Prestige is just going to be there in general, I can keep things going. I don't have to worry about going to one area. I'm stoked. I'm in. This is great. This is great.
And it's not the only thing that we have in Warzone, because for the very first time, Warzone is getting its own dedicated camo
Are you serious?
track. Lawrence, we're pumped about this. We're seeing these mastery camos right here. They're sick.
Yeah, so I mean, as you guys have been seeing through the broadcast, we've been going big with mastery camos this year. We have an updated camo system, and for the first time ever in Warzone, you will have dedicated camos you can only earn in Warzone. Camo challenges geared towards things you can do in Warzone. This is your first look at Abyss.
Sick.
It's dynamic. It changes when you shoot it. 4 all new mastery camos that we've never had before. can only be earned in Warzone.
Yeah, I love all the dynamic camos that we've been seeing here. Really creative, just fun. You know, always a little special thing you get when you shoot your gun and you see colorful things pop up. You know, it's a nice feeling. It's a nice feeling. All right, now we have a lot to be excited for in this chapter, but especially in terms of what's going to be coming with Black Ops 6 here. But you know what? I like new features. What could we be expecting here coming to Warzone in regards to like new features here? Who wants to take it?
So the big one,
Oh,
it's like a new old one.
Okay.
There's no more backpack.
Oh, okay.
So this will be a huge change to the way that the game is played. We really reflected on the last 3 years, and I'm not kidding. We had like a 3-day design meeting on the backpack. And it just gave us an opportunity to like look at the history of Warzone today, and we really felt that with all this fluidity that's coming in with this brand new Black Ops 6 experience, did we want people like stowing stuff and doing inventory management, or do we just want people to like pick stuff up smoothly, run with it, and just go with it? So we're really excited about this new old play style.
What's old is new again. I love it.
Always. We see here on screen that with the backpack changes, we're returning to the original armor satchel and also the ammo storage in terms of inventory.
Yeah, and you know, as Pete was saying earlier, this like player agency, fluidity, etc. It just gave us that chance to think about, okay, the backpack had a ton of positives. Some of those were that you could carry more ammo, could carry more ammo. So not only have we added the armor satchel that the OGs might remember, there's now this ammo satchel, and the best part is that they're additive. So if you find one, you can pick it up, find another, pick that up, and you're just constantly making yourself better. The same goes for the perks. I don't think we really touched on it too much, but a number of the perks that people can equip in the loadout menu can be found in ground loot. And again, they're all additive.
So they're stackable. You can stack the perks that you're picking up out of the ground loot.
That's also going to change the sandbox.
The satchels with armor and ammo.
And then for the real hardcore players, they're still specialists. So don't worry, there's still the one thing to bind them, I guess. The one perk to bind them.
Don't worry. Yeah, we've got it. We got it. Again, there are things we've been introduced to that are coming to Black Ops 6 that are also coming to Warzone. But again, they work a little bit differently in Warzone as a mode. They've been tuned up specifically for the BR Resurgence experience. And one of those things is dedicated melee, Pete.
Yeah, so we're really excited about bringing the dedicated melee back to or into Warzone. So this is a new feature that you'll see in your loadout when you go and customize it. The cool thing about this is right on rip, if you drop in, you will have this as part of your default loadout. So once you land, you can equip the dedicated melee by holding the melee button down. The best part about it is when you have it equipped, you will also get unlimited tac sprint.
Oh, snap.
So this is our second way of giving you unlimited tac sprint, right? And what we love about this is now you have more agency, more options and strategy in how you want to play. So if you find yourself in a situation where you need to rotate, if you need to get out of a sticky like combat scenario, or if you want to make a tactical advancement somewhere, you can. And the cool thing here is once you customize your loadout, you can customize your dedicated melee as well.
That is, I mean, famously, we all know you run faster with a knife out.
Absolutely.
So, that I think goes without saying here. The fact that's coming in, oh man, I'm stoked. That's so good.
We're looking at some gameplay here, which has been awesome to see everyone playing Resurgence on Area 99. But we got to show off a little bit in multiplayer. We saw some things happening in the winner circle and the MP matches. But Ted, emotes and sprays also coming.
New old. You know, we had them in the early days of Warzone, but now it's with a twist. So the emotes are third person. Don't worry. We have made sure there's a slow into and out, so you can't peek.
No peeking.
My man.
Keeping us
My man. Remember those blackout days?
Yes, right. And then when it comes to the sprays, it goes, you know, as Peter was saying earlier about this agency, a big part of agency is that ability to self-express. And one of the things that I asked Lawrence was, you know, a few years ago, a birthday, my friends and I jumped into Warzone. My squad sprayed me, so damn Rich and Craig, thank you for that. And I ran around looking like a clown. And I asked Lawrence earlier in the week, I was like, can you still spray an operator? And he said,
definitely. I wouldn't be
we got you, Ted.
Without that. If you're like me and you think spraying all your opponents in the gulag before the gulag matchup starts gives you an advantage.
That's big brain thinking. Right there.
It's back.
Tag
you can do it.
I like to tag my targets.
So my next birthday is going to be reliving my old birthday.
Oh,
Perfect.
that's awesome. All right, well, Ted, you know, something that it really has always stuck out to me with Raven and the work that you guys do. You guys put a lot of attention toward that quality of life, right? Quality of life updates. What are going to be those for Warzone that the community can really, chop the bit on and get excited for?
Yeah, over the last couple of years, I think the community's really resonated with our quality of life efforts, and I think this year going forward, we've got a massive list for season 1 coming up. But it's also a cross-studio effort. Not only is it Raven and Treyarch, I don't know if our friends at High Moon and Beanox are watching. If you are, thank you so much for everything that you do for Warzone. But things like seamless ascenders, seamless horizontal zip lines, again, fluidity, really a real focus. And we just can't wait to show like the improved inventory, UI, etc., etc. There's a lot.
So much work being put into it.
The patch notes is going to be a big one. Yeah. So prepare, get a cup of tea, and sit down and read the patch notes when they come out.
Well, I love me some patch notes, but speaking of Season 1, we know one thing the community has been asking for, Pete, is the return of Battle Royale ranked play. And we had previously said at the end of the year. So I got to ask you, do you have any updates for us?
I sure do. So, we've really evaluated the last few years of what we've been doing with ranked as a system.
Yeah.
We've started out with the foundation, and we like the foundation, but we want to build upon that. So we're happy to continue our work with Treyarch here and really build upon the infrastructure that's already there. So we're rebalancing and retooling the ranked experience, and we're happy to announce that ranked Battle Royale is coming to Season 1 during Season 1 on Urzikstan.
It's always great. A lot of great updates coming to ranked play in both multiplayer and Warzone this year. It's always awesome when our ranked play teams at Raven and Treyarch get together and collaborate on a Warzone ranked mode, and really excited to share more as we get closer to launch.
And that means we got all the toys
I'm excited.
from Black Ops 6, like Omni movement coming to big map ranked.
It's going to change it up.
Honestly, I can't think of anything better. Unreal stuff. Thank you, Ted, Lawrence, Pete. Thank you guys so much for joining us here today. We look forward to the next chapter of what we're going to be seeing in Warzone.